Hi everyone. Let's say you have a new car that you bought and you took a loan of 7 years and you've been driving your car for 3 or 4 years now, and you'll be thinking, oh my god, next year my warranty ends, but my loan still runs for another 2 years or 3 years. And if I sell it now, I may lose a little bit of money, but probably that's a better decision because my warranty is running out and I don't want to be incurred with huge repair costs that may come after 5 years, right? A lot of you would think that way. Good news now, you can contact us. It's extended warranty for new cars. Means your warranty is still valid. You still go back to your service center and service, and then you can purchase our extended warranty, be it 1 year or 3 years, and we can extend your warranty all the way up to 10 years. But of course, throughout that period, you have to properly maintain your car back at your 4S center. You don't need to maintain it at whatever our dealer network or service center network. No, do it at the official, be it BMW or Mercedes-Benz or Porsche and all that, right? You maintain that, and then your warranty gets to be extended by us. And whatever you do, whatever you need to claim, you just do it at the 4S center, and our partners will pay for it. That's the first thing. Second thing, if you're buying a used car, you can also buy our extended warranty. And of course, that is subjected to inspection, but that one can go all the way, potentially up to 15 years of extended warranty. All right. So inquiry, go to facebook.com/horizon, PM us.
All right, quick verdict on this car. All the materials and touch points are quality, soft touch, I know it's plastic, but it's alright, it's finished nicely, smooth, and then you have the ambient lighting, aircon vents, there's a tray here, there's a wireless charger here, cup holders here, the gear levers, and this is alright, sizable. Okay, the seats are average, they look good, but they're average at best, okay, in terms of support and all that, but it's okay. Door bins, door cards don't look that boring because you have some leather stitch over here. These are nice materials, soft touch as well. These plastics are hard, but they're finished well. Overall it's okay. The speaker, the design and all that, these are pretty old school. This is an old mechanism, cost savings, so there's not much stuffs here. No sunglass holder, nothing. This is an entry-level BMW at the end of the day. Alright, your screens are okay, no 360 camera, and in terms of the infotainment, it's a little bit slow, and I still don't really fancy how BMW organizes their icons and all that. I mean, they just go by alphabetical order. And of course, you can shortcut to vehicle or infotainment. Infotainment is pretty straightforward, but when you go vehicle, everything's together. Maybe you see this line, maybe under vehicle they can have another line, personalize, account related stuff, then group everything in there, your BMW ID, personal assistant, what data privacy, all this nonsense not needed, right? You put the important ones outside, right? You should put that. And can I customize them? I cannot. I can only add shortcut. I mean, if I can move them around like Volvo's one, right? You can put climate control here, exterior lighting, interior lighting, all the important stuffs. Rank them by importance, not by alphabetical order. You get what I mean? Right? And if they have recently used, okay, that should be give a shortcut. So very straightforward, no longer like menu upon menu and all that. This one's still not the most legible. It's okay like getting used to it. Alright, and of course new generation changes also include the signals. Last time on the BMW we have a little button where we press and then wiper is auto. Now you put it up and then this one lights up to indicate and let you know that it's on auto mode. Steering is very nice to hold, very nice, very squidgy, grippy, lovely steering wheel. And overall, legroom is, I don't think the legroom has any meaningful increment over the previous generation. Move these things over. I don't think there is any improvement in legroom. I would say it's sort of about that, like the previous generation 218i, which is usable but definitely not capacious. Alright, let's get outside the car. And the most important thing, the design. Yeah, the door mechanism as well is something new to BMWs. I don't know how to put it, but it seems a bit loud every time you try to close the door. It's a little bit loud. Yeah, usually it's a more subdued, should be a more subdued sound. Okay, Let's look at the boot first. Oh, there's a little icon over here, which is a nice touch for the Grand Coupe. Let me unlock the car. See, it's very loud. No matter how you close the doors, right? They're very loud. Now, it uses a swan neck mechanism, very nicely covered, you know, the swan neck mechanism. And there's a little lever here which you pull and you can lower the seats. That is a very nice touch. Again, I don't know why all the premium cars, BMW, Mercedes-Benz, just carpet this part as well. It looked better than the usual, you know, Proton S70, Honda Cities and all that, right? I mean, how much would it cost you? I don't know why, man. I think only Lexus covers it so far. I don't think BMW or Mercedes does it. Sorry. Look underneath here. Oh, there's a false floor. Very nice. Very spacious boot. Very practical boot. And those are the ISOFIX hook points over there inside. And the boot is very lightweight, so I don't think you need a powered boot. Now let's come to the design. This car is very, very Japanese, the way it is designed, or Korean for that matter. Gone are the usual BMW lines that we're familiar with, even though it tried to mimic a little bit of it, you know, with yeah, it's not a design that BMW owners are used to. It's actually very, very, yeah, very Japanese, very Korean, very city, very Vios kind of design. I personally am not a fan of the entire design of this car, but you know what? It drives so well. As a front wheel drive car that wasn't supposed to be a sporty, it's not a sport division car, right? But it drives so well. The tires are Goodyear Eagle F1. I'm sure that contributes a lot. On wet, on dry, oh, they deliver beautiful performance. So dynamic, right? The car isn't ugly, but it's not attractive. I think everybody would agree with that. It's not ugly, but it's not attractive. Okay, but it's... This car is a good lesson to Mazda. Mazda always say they are big fans of BMW. And Mazda's, you know, their press release, they always say, oh, how dynamic their Mazda 3s are. You know, how much effort they put in on driver input, handling, blah, 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 blah. Right? This one does none of that. And in terms of ride and handling, this would have Mazda licked. You know, this one not only is so sporty and dynamic to drive, it is also way more comfortable than the Mazda 3. It's also way more spacious. And yeah, I mean, it's not as beautiful inside as the Mazda, nor or outside. The Mazda is a work of art, right? From outside it's beautiful, inside is gorgeous as well. This one is just you know, yeah. And then they have this ambient lighting over here. If you turn it off, the car will look cheap. When you turn it on at night or evening, this will reflect off the side mirror very brightly. That's okay. So yep, that's the BMW 218i. Again, another BMW that I don't like how it looks. Gets laughed by everybody online, and then delivers the goods and demolishes the competitors, even though it's still ugly inside or out. But ugly or not is a very personal thing. You know what's funny? If you ask me, Bobby, which car you like more? Mazda 3. Yes, I like the Mazda 3 more. Which car is prettier? Mazda 3. Exterior, interior, Mazda 3. Which car would you buy? This. I'm saying even if both cars are the same price, yeah, I'll buy this. not the badge, but because of how it drives. Alright, the transmission pairing and all that is just nice. Now it doesn't deliver the very, very elitist kind of handling prowess at the very limits like the Mazda 3, but the bandwidth of explorable performance and driving enjoyment is all the way from 0 kmh all the way to 170, 180 kmh. You know, it's just so nice to drive. Alright, so those who are considering, yeah, I laugh at this car as well, the way it looks inside out and all that, uninspiring looks, but the moment you drive it, brah, it's so nice. So nice to drive. Alright, cheers.